sorry.
is go to Tools,
I just got to give you
and
this
then
this little
Board,
gem from
and make sure you
79.
have Arduino Uno picked, which is right here. And then over underneath ports, you're going
Very
to
nice.
want to check one of these ports to see which one works for you. All right, and whenever you
All
do
right,
that,
fine. I guess I'll
everything will
tweet
be
about
ready
it.
to go, and I am ready to write some code. Okay, so what I'm going to do here first is I'm
You're a
going
robot,
to
BB.
define a constant.
Okay, here we go.
And
The
that
arbiter,
means this value is never going
one
to
of my
change,
best hard lines.
and I'm going
He's
to call this an
go off
integer
on a
because
tangent
I
of
am
what,
going to be
what to do with an
storing a
Arduino.
value inside of it.
If
And
that's
what I'm
your shop,
referencing right here
please, by all
is
means,
an LED
blue pill this one
pin
for me,
on
would
the
you? You
Arduino
go off
board.
on that
It
tangent.
is a light
However, I'm going
that's
to go
going
off
to
in this
light
direction.
up on your Arduino. And integers are going to have
I was
a
looking for
value
specific
between
arbiter programming,
32,000
like
and
you
an
could
upper
do
value
gantry saw
of positive
arbiters.
32,000.
Well,
Actually, it's slightly more than that, but I'm
what
going
are
to
you
keep
getting
it
into,
that way.
GPT-3?
And then you will know, don't go under negative 32,000, don't go above positive 32,000.
All right. So, anyways, we
Okay.
want to.
So we have an integer here,
whatever.
and I am saying that the pin that I want to reference is
the pin chip.
13. And this is outside of any of our functions. This is a function. This is
This
a
guy?
function.
Yeah, here we go.
And so what
The
that
timing
means
loop
is this
on
is what we
the
call a global
video,
variable, meaning that this value is going
ROM
to be
corruption
accessible
to
all
the loop,
of the other
the timing
code
loops
in our program.
are these two
And
fangs.
You do not want to have
Less
a
is
lot
more,
of these
more
in
is
your
less.
program because it can become confusing because
Maxwellism at that
changing
point in
all
time,
through
walking on
your
the
code.
surface,
You
son
wanna
of
pretty much
drunkard's
keep
walk problem.
everything inside of functions themselves. So that's the basics.
This is
of that.
you. You're a
And
pawn.
inside of
You're a
setup,
ball, you're
as
a
you can
pawn,
see, put
you're an
your setup code
electron.
here. This is where you're
Okay,
going to
we'll figure out
initialize
which one
or
of those
set
are.
values
Here,
for
you're a pawn.
different things that are
And we're
important.
going
Another
to
thing
establish that
is
program
we want to
code
be
here
able to
for the
talk to
arbiter.
the serial
It's
monitor.
simple.
Once again,
I know
it's
it
over
will
here.
wreck somebody's
And to
house.
do that, you have to start
Batteries.
off by going serial begin and 9600.
Anywho.
And what this means
What we got?
is this is going to open up a
Let's get this going here. I'm going to make you a little bit this way. Open you up this way. Bring you over here. And you'll need to do these things as well.
port that's going to set how many bits per second, and 9600 is equivalent to 960 characters per second. And
I can't tell you which ones of these you need because
now if we want to be able to light up the LED, and of course you're going to have a
Arduino
USB
programming
plugged into
is an
Arduino
arbiter.
into the back of your
It's
computer
a
to be able to do
facet
this.
of
But
under
if
M1,
you want
M2,
to be able to use your LED to
photon,
turn the light on
electron,
and
or
off,
photon
you're going
gluon,
to
W boson,
reference
Z
your
boson,
pin that
gravity,
you have there, which is
electromagnetism,
13, and then you're
strong
gonna have
force,
to
weak
say
force.
that you want to
What do you mean?
use
I
it
was like,
for
this is
output,
just the raw
which
calc
means that you want
as
to be able
far
to change
as the
value.
first 3 days of
And
the
I
week.
just said that I want to save
This is the
and I'm
last
just
3
gonna
days
call this
of the
Arduino
the last
Tots
4 days of the week.
and
But
save.
get out of here,
Okay?
mouse.
Everything's the same on Windows and Mac and Linux. All right, so
This would be a
after
better
we
example,
have that
actually.
all set
1,
up,
2, 3,
we're going to be
4.
able to come down here
That's
to
kind of
the
what you're
loop
doing
section.
here.
And as it
There's
says,
a very
you're gonna put
specific
your main
route
program
about
code
it
here, and
as
it's going to
far
be
as
run over
programming,
and over and
me
over
clicking,
again,
or
hence the term
the
loop.
program.
Now what we're going to do is this is a global variable. What we're going to do is we're going to create some local
And
variables that are going to only be available
do
inside
that,
of the loop.
and you're going to get
One thing
very
we're gonna do
compelling
is we're gonna
on
turn our
which
LED
truth tables look
on
like.
and
These
off.
all
So we are
paperwork
going to define
correlate to
another
these
integer, and we're going to say
in the office.
how
Right,
much
these are
time
somebody's
we are
file
going
cabinet
to
or some safety
delay
officer manager,
what we're gonna
programming your
turn the
cut
LED on, and
coefficient,
then we're gonna
watching
hit
block
this is a
quality,
tenth of a
see how
second,
it
it's gonna be
correlates to
on,
the
and it's gonna go
rectangle to
off
polar
again.
coordinates
Okay,
in the
so that's
Corey
what that is,
face
100
to
milliseconds. We
either
are
run
then
certain block for
going to
premium,
say
pull
that
it
we
out,
want
there's a
to
bandwidth to
turn
it,
our
it's going to
pin
get fuzzy,
on,
you would
which
change
is
out,
the
not say
same
that
as
it
the
needs to be
LED, and
debugged,
do
it's
that,
wrong,
we go LED
planned out through
pin,
the whole thing.
and we say hi, and that means that
Yeah.
it's on. You can see LED pin is referenced there both times. We are then going to say
if
that we
here,
want
then
to have it stay
that
on for a
function
certain
should
period
be
of time,
there.
and
Once
that
it's
is going
there,
to be our
this function
delay
will become
period.
this
And
timeline
say
of
that.
steps and
And then
process. Like
after
get up
that,
in the
we're
morning,
going to
do
say that
stuff,
we want
pick
to,
out
so
rock,
once
look
again,
at it, and
turn
grade it a different
the
way.
LED pin
Looks like a hurricane
off.
out there.
And to do that,
Go the
we
other
say
route, you know.
low. And this is a standard
If-
way just to
if
test
here,
that our Arduino is working
then-
properly for us. Okay, and then after we have that, we turn it off. We want to once again have it be off for a certain
Just
period
take a
of time.
look, take
and
in the
then
photons,
it is going
and you're
to
like, one of those. Like, that's a skid steer?
Here,
You sure?
Turn on, turn off,
Did
turn
you graph
off,
it?
over and
Alright,
over
well
and
then it's a
over
skid
again.
steer.
And
You
now
will be
to
all, well,
test
sure
that our
that
code
on the
actually
scales
works,
it'll
we
weigh
wanna have
like a
it
skid
saved.
steer.
Then we're going to come over
Say
here
hi to the
and
skid
click
steer,
on
beep beep.
verify, and you're going to see down here if there's any errors. There are none.
You're going
so
to take a
gonna
route
click on
around this.
upload.
See, we're not there.
And
This
whenever
is
you
zeros
do,
and ones
you're going
stuff.
to see
We are
that
not
your
here.
Arduino
You're going to want to
is
walk
going
around
to
this,
blink
take
a couple
every
times, and
single
then
one of them
its
tires. Make sure that
LED
they're
is
good,
going to
nothing
blink
happening.
pretty
Inside here,
quickly on your
near
screen.
force,
Now what I
right?
want to do is
Also
I want
program,
to
we're going to
increase
do this,
the
this,
delay
this,
period
all this
between
inside
the LED
here.
blinking,
Check both.
and then I want to go backwards and have it speed up and slow down, speed up and slow down over and over and over again. So
while
how
you
am I
did
going
that,
to do that?
this
Well,
machine is rated to certain things. Let's say gravity.
And right
Alright,
after
and
this
bolt
guy,
at the top
I am
of that
going
hell
to
there.
put some
And
more
while we're
code in.
doing that, we're
So
not.
what I'm gonna
This
do
thing
is
could
I'm gonna
maybe
say,
load it up
if
way high with that,
delay
or you could
period
empty. They'll pick them up
is
empty.
equal to
But we like them just right
1000,
there at
which
that
is gonna be
bandwidth,
the
and it'll take you a certain
maximum
amount of
that I
time to
wanna
go
wait
grab
for
those
1
photons
second.
and throw them here in this bucket. And you're
So
gonna be
this
banging
is a
it out.
condition, and this is going to be another condition. The delay period is equal
Snorlax.
to 0, which is going to be the minimum that I wanted to wait. And there we go. And you can see, make sure you have all your parentheses closed. So if either of those is true, I want to go and say that I want
Okay,
a
so
variable
for my
called
specific,
direction to
let's-
change. So I'm going to multiply this times
The,
-1. And that is exactly the same as
Bluestone
if I would
Militia
say direction is
Programming
equal to
AR67. This is a grooming
direction
policy. Now you don't know what that is. You never knew what that
So
was.
that
It was
is
it was
going
definitely
to
one of those
change
X's,
that-
which is
that
this.
little
It's
variable.
A1.
But as you can
The
see,
preface
this
is
function we have
general
here is starting to
resume.
get kinda long, and we're gonna
Whatever
be
you're
adding
going to tell
even
me
more
is
code
some
to this. So what I wanna
Arduino
do is
program,
create
some.
another outside
Alright, well then
function that I
Arduino
can then
program's
call
going to have to
keep
look
my
like this,
functions
and
a
Bluestone
reasonable
Militia
length
general
overall.
resumes are going to
So
have
I'm
to
gonna
look
start off
like
using good coding
it
practices
as
here right
in
from
that
the
environment
beginning.
for
So
command
here, right
directives,
after this
incident
variable has been
reports,
declared,
invention
I am going
patents,
to mint, and I'm
small
gonna create
business
another
designs
integer,
and
and this is
engineering,
going to be
some Sigma
count
X, Sigma
direction,
X
and
prime,
have it
XY,
set to 1
XYZ, whatever you
first
do.
off, and maybe we put a space there to make this a little bit more readable. And
As
then
far
I'm gonna
as
take this guy right here
the
and
fields,
cut
the
him right out of
AR
there,
backyard you
and
got,
I'm
you know,
gonna
whatever
do
you're putting
count
on plate,
direction
that's
is
going to be the
equal
special
to, and I'm gonna
Arduinos.
create
In this
a new
case,
function called
we
check
could say that they're in
direction
superposition, but this is going to be
change.
right-hand rule because we're
And
using
I'm gonna throw
arbitrary
into
programs
that. I'm gonna
or
pass some
this. And
values over to it, which is
relatively,
gonna be our delay
if you can get
period
it there,
and
you're going to
our
have
count direction.
this
And
step,
it's going
which
to
you'll do
return
again, you'll get it in there, and
information
you'll
back
do
to
this
us. Let's
again, and
create
you'll
that
do that
function
again,
right
or
now.
you'll just
This
figure that
function
out
is
and just
going to
smash it
return an
once you
integer,
get it.
of course,
Get it
because this
going.
is an integer, so that makes sense.
The
And I'm just
marshmallow,
gonna say check
Morningstar, and the
direction
rabbit, right?
change.
The
And
marshmallow, okay.
this delay
X,
period
Y,
is
and
an
Z is
integer,
all up
so
in
I'm
here
going
pretty
to
good
have this
about
be
being
an
the
integer,
snowflake,
and I'm just
and that
gonna
thing
let
is
it
just
have
a
the same
rip.
name. Sometimes that's a good idea, sometimes not so much. And
Yeah,
then
well, it depends
it's
on how the kids
count
take it. Up and
direction.
down, left.
And these are going to be completely different variables from these variables. So even
That
though
thing
the
is
name
moving.
is the same. And then inside of it, I'm going to paste
Well,
in that
in the
code
Arduino,
I started throwing inside of there. And I'm going to change this from direction to count
And it uses
direction.
nothing.
And then I'm going to continue. Then I'm going to say if an if statement is going to perform
We want-
an action
here we
if
go.
a
We want the
given
soft
condition
face right
is
here.
true or not. So I'm going to say
Oop.
if
Clicky
the
button.
current count
If
direction
you
is
are
less
Hello
than
World
0, which means my delay
Arduino
period
in,
is
let's say,
0
this
or
operating
greater.
position right
Well,
here,
in that
because
situation, well, I'm
you
going to
know,
write out to
you're
my
gonna need to
serial
program that's
monitor
all there.
that a change is
This is
going
great.
on,
This is
so- and
M2
that's going to be
to
over
program
here so that I can
limit
see it
of the
and know what's
Sawyer
going on,
programmer
even though the
master
Arduino is just
Mason's
sitting here
position.
blinking. So I'm going to say going
The
down.
other way. Oop,
and
nope, we want to do that.
close
Actually,
that off. If this doesn't
this
totally
one.
make sense, it will as the
but you will
code
be a
starts
ground guy
executing and
operator
things start popping
first,
on the screen.
and they are kind of
And
the same
I'm going-
thing.
and the print line
And but not.
means that we want to put a new line over
It
here
is
on this side of
the square
screen
root of M1 and
each
M2
time we
gravity.
print out some
M1
code
and
so
M2
that our-
gravity.
there's a line
The
break between
photon,
each thing that
gravity,
prints out on the screen. And
electromagnetism,
then after I do that, I can
W
say
boson.
return
Then you
count
got
direction
strong force, weak force.
and close that off. And now that I have that function defined, what I can do up here is right after
Get on
this
that
guy,
program.
and once